All right, so again, all of this is unscripted. My communications prodigies, take it easy on the critiques. I am trying to move forward with a project that focuses on my disability, and I'm trying to inspire others who have had a sudden onset from whether it be an accident, medical procedure, whatnot, that you suddenly are dealing with a disability. So let me tell you a little bit about what happened. There's a lot of questions, and I've only been able to tell this to a few people. In February of 2017, I was going to be in a theatrical performance. I was very excited. There's going to be a large audience, and I was going to be the first person on stage. So I had my son all set up. He was actually looking forward to that night. He had a movie and a pizza, and he's a teenager at this time, so you know, um, dad was not so important. So I remember I gave him a kiss on the head, and I said, "I'll see you soon." It was 5.5 weeks later when I finally saw him. I have vague memories of the accident. I will have, um, and it was explained to me that I will have visions of the accident come to me while I'm asleep. Um, all I know is that I had a Nissan Pathfinder. I really loved that vehicle, and I was driving to the performance. I guess all of this has been told to me. I don't remember any of this, and it's probably best that I don't remember. Um, I came upon an accident that happened just before me, just before I arrived on the interstate. The police officer who witnessed my accident, it told my parents, told my brother that I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And those things happen. So what happened was, I guess I was in the left-hand lane. I swerved to the right-hand lane to avoid the accident that took place in front of me. It's an SUV. Those of you who drive SUVs, you see it on your visor. It says that they have the capability of rolling, and that is true. Um, I guess my vehicle fishtailed. I swerved. The officer said he did see me trying to counter steer, and my vehicle did correct itself. But when it did, I hit the median on the interstate, which was told my vehicle, my SUV, approximately launched 10 feet in the air, and then it landed on top of me, and then it rolled 6 times. Each time it landed on me. The initial impact, my arm went up. I hit here. Again, I broke multiple ribs. I guess I was millimeters away from piercing my heart. Um, I was told, and this is one of the things why I love weightlifting. I was told that if I had not had the pec strength um, that I had during the accident, that my ribs would have pierced my heart and I would have died. So the impact hit here, and then my arm came down, and my head and neck went this way, and I pulled my brachial plexus nerve, which everyone has. You have that; it controls a majority of your upper arm, your shoulder. I have an avulsion at my spine, and I also um, died. I saw my accident report. I saw the time of death. Um, I was just recently told this year, this January, that I was placed in a body bag, and the emergency medical crew, someone did a last check uh, for pulses on me, and they found a very weak pulse in my ankle. And so I got a helicopter ride. My first helicopter ride and probably my only helicopter ride. I don't know, but I don't remember any of it. Um, yeah, when I arrived at the hospital, they brought my son, they brought my brother, my parents. There was discussion. I guess I kept slipping back and forth. There are things that I saw and people I talked to that I can't explain. I do remember being able to explain to my parents and my brother um, a room that they were in and a discussion that they had. And the shocking part about that was my brother and my parents had told me that that was when they were talking about whether I was going to be put on life support or not. But I remember seeing the conversation take place. Um, so when I was in the hospital, this entire arm was just it just sagged, didn't do anything, and I could barely breathe. I was on oxygen all the time. I was so thirsty. Oh my gosh, I pleaded with the nursing staff every time they came into the room for just a sip of water, and they told me I couldn't because of the fact that it was just too dangerous. So I had IVs and whatnot. The movie Logan with Hugh Jackman was coming out. Yeah, I'm a big Wolverine fan. Yes, I have a lot of connections with the character of Wolverine. I don't mean to. I admire him a lot. His character. So at the time my beard was just epic, because I was in the hospital and I didn't have a chance to shave. Um, And I remember one morning a doctor came in and he was talking to me. They always came in the morning, like 6 in the morning. And Joel, there are amazing things that they do with wheelchairs now, and we're gonna start teaching you how to use a wheelchair. You'll blow in a tube and you'll go to the right, you go to the left. We'll give you this thing that you put in your mouth and you can tap out on a keyboard. Um, and I remember I turned to the doctor when he finally took a brief pause, and I said, "Doc, that's wonderful, but how come my legs can move?" And I showed him, and I kicked my legs, and they were just astounded. So things happen. If you know me, I'm the youngest of a crew of boys. That's my family, and I'm the youngest, and I've always been a scrapper. Sometimes that's been good, and sometimes it hasn't been good. There have been some people in my life who I wish I wouldn't have tried to get back at. You learn. Every day you learn. Every day is a new adventure and it's filled with possibilities. It's going to be filled with disappointments too, but when you fall, you learn to dust yourself off and get up. So when I was in the hospital, big beard and Hugh Jackman, Logan was coming out, and the staff in the ICU kept calling me Logan, so much so that there were a couple of people when they were taking me to get an MRI or so many tests, they would say, "Your name's Joel." And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, how come everybody calls you Logan?" And it was because I was healing. I mean, they were just astounded. And my goal was to see my son. When I gave him a kiss on the head that night when I left, and I said, I'll see you soon. That was my word and my bond, and that I wanted to see him soon. So, I made it through some pretty trying times in the hospital, some pretty horrific events that took place in the hospital I'm not really fond of, but it it is it happened. Um, so what I'm doing, and you've seen my videos lately, um, weightlifting has always been a big part of my life from when I was 11 years old to high school, and using it to defend myself against bullies in my small town. Um, I am going to continue to exercise and lift weights. Yes, I was told by a doctor I would never do the things that I'm doing, push up, um, any of those activities. I was told. Again, I died, and I was supposed to be in a wheelchair, and here I am doing videos about how I can now do a push up assisted. I'm going to do a couple more videos showing bicep curls. I'm working on getting my tricep back. Um, all those things, to show that I own my disability. My disability does not own me. And I'm a scrapper. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to make things, just um, happen when maybe other people are going to say that that is not possible. With me, I think anything is possible. If I've just got to give it a try, and I'm going to fail, and I'm going to fall down. The point being is that I know to brush myself off and get up and set my determination and have goals, even if they're small goals. If you accomplish them during the day, it's a victory. So I had this accident. It was unexpected. Every time you back out of your, garage, back out of your driveway, there's no guarantees. And that's not intended to frighten you. It's just please be aware and know that, you know, there is there are possibilities after that. There are things that can happen. You've got to find strength. I watch motivational videos so often, but the one thing that keeps me grounded and gives me strength is knowing that I am a person who retains and wants to retain nobility in my communication. And that night, when I left and I kissed my son on the head, I told him, I will see you soon. And though it took longer than I really wanted it to take, I did. I did get to see him, and I do get to see him every day. And that has been a huge, huge impact on my strength. And I'm going to be, I'm going to show him, I'm going to show him what can be done, even with a disability. Um, he's given me strength, so I owe him that much. I owe him the example of strength, and to always make sure that if I have to leave and I have to give him a kiss on the head, and I'll say, I'll see you soon, that I will keep my word. Thank you, and keep setting those victories, those small goals, and keep watching for my videos um, that I'm trying to inspire others and give motivation that things like this can be done.